Jason with Chicago News, and you can see winners here in Chicago. What better time to test the all-wheel drive system of this new 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport. Some of the new features for 2017 include a brand new fascia with LED headlamps, a lot of new tech features inside, and since it's getting cold out, let's hop inside and check them out. The first thing you notice when you get behind the wheel of the Santa Fe Sport is how much power this engine feels like it has, and it's because it's got a really broad torque curve. Another thing that lends itself to the Sport name is the steering feel. It's got really light, nimble steering. You see they've done a lot to really engineer this car to feel like it handles well. Now, it doesn't necessarily have the ultimate grip that you would think a sports car would have, but it's a crossover, not a sports car, and it really does handle well. One of the other reasons the ride is a little bit harsh are these 19-inch wheels and tires, which contribute again to that great handling, but we'd look for a little bit more comfort. Even though this thing is called Sport, it's not really 100% sport or 100% comfort. It's somewhere in the middle. So most people don't equate sport utility vehicles or crossovers to fun, but we had the chance to take it to a wide open area, some fresh snow, and believe me, you can have fun in those conditions. One of the things we learned there is just how well this all-wheel drive system works. It's got obviously tons of sensors that are telling it which wheels to put the power to. You can really feel it working in almost every situation that you come across. Let's see what this 2-liter turbo can do. For a good-sized SUV that's all-wheel drive, that's pretty impressive acceleration. The other great thing is that acceleration comes with some pretty decent mileage as well. It's rated at 1824. We're getting well over 20 in our mixed conditions. This particular Santa Fe is the top-line Ultimate model, which happens to also have the Ultimate tech package, so it's the Ultimate. But what that gives you is lane departure warning, pedestrian alert, automatic braking, radar cruise control, some really high-line features for a car that a lot of people consider entry-level. Unfortunately, some of those features don't work quite as well as they do in other cars. During the snowstorm, we were losing functionality in the blind spot monitors, which if you think about it, once you really get used to that system, you don't want it to ever stop working on you, because that's the time somebody's going to be right in your blind spot. Same thing with the automatic braking. There's a camera up here above the mirror, and when that got covered with some snow, that system didn't function as well either. So it's nice to have these features. They just need to work on them a little bit so they always are there for you. While the car did give us a message saying that the emergency braking system was temporarily not working due to the weather, well, it didn't say due to the weather, but we knew that's why it was. When this blind spot monitor didn't work, there was no message. So if it's not going to work, there should be some sort of notification that it's not able to see anything. The new for 2017 LED headlights are really fantastic. At nighttime, it's a really bright white light. It kind of feels like you have your high beams on all the time, even when you don't. And even when you use your high beams, it's got automatic on and off high beams, so you don't even have to worry about turning them off for oncoming traffic. This has one of the biggest panoramic roof openings that we've seen in any vehicle. It lets in a ton of light, and almost the entire front half of it slides back. It's a really cool feature. We just hope that it doesn't take away from any of the safety. The Ultimate tech package upgrades you to the 8-inch Infotainment system, and although it has a ton of apps and features, the whole thing feels kind of like it came out of a Chevy, and we don't really mean that as a compliment. It's really just an okay system. We didn't only just play around in the snow with this. We did grab some furniture and load it up to see if there is utility in this sport utility vehicle, and they actually have a pretty ingenious rear seat. Instead of a 60-40 folding, it's 40-40-20, so you can leave a full seat up. You can actually just fold down what you need depending on what you're carrying. It's a really nice feature. And there's some underfloor storage in the cargo area too that allows you to pack neatly. If there's a few things that you carry around all the time, they can be underneath. Leave room for bigger items above it. Normally we don't talk much about the back seat because it's kind of where you just shove your passengers and don't really worry about them, but they can actually be comfortable in this. You've got sliding and reclining seats in the back, so there's actually some thought put into your passenger's comfort as well. Like a lot of cars these days, there's a few controls for the collision warning, cruise control, and some other features. You can turn them on and off here on the side. And there's more features, heated seats, there's auto brake hold for the stoplights, and an actual really nice 360 advanced view camera. So you've got front and side and rear view cameras available with a button down here. Again, the controls are a bit spread out throughout the car. We'd like to see that tightened up a little bit, but lots of features. The interior comes with these nicely trimmed leather seats, but there's a letdown in a couple other areas. This plastic, while it's soft on the top of the door, it's nice and hard down at the bottom and just kind of cheapens the feeling of everything. The cheap trim surrounding some of the vents, some of the other areas, let it down overall. However, you're going to save a couple of dollars by going with this. That's where they're saving the money. So like a lot of cars these days, the Sirius satellite radio tuner, while it's great to get all those channels, the sound quality is not all that great. Again, there's got to be multiple types of feeds. We've heard other cars where the satellite radio still sounds good. In this one, you're going to be fairly disappointed. That being said, FM and CD actually sound really good with this system. It can be a tad boomy depending on how you have it set up, but it's a really good audio system. So the one feature that should be a convenience that's not really, it's just, I mean, if you told me which wire to cut, just give me 5 minutes. I will track it down and find which wire to cut, because you're driving along and this comes on all the time. You're going to end up turning it off so that you don't have to listen to it. The problem is it comes back on without you doing anything about it. So next thing you know, it's going to be beeping at you again. We prefer systems that are a little gentler at telling you you're going out of the lane. This one is so annoying, you're always just going to turn it off. So what do we think about this Hyundai Santa Fe Sport? We're not really sure how much sport there is here, but there's a ton of utility, some great technology and safety, and at a really reasonable price.